I'm William Jones for Metro Focus. Virtual reality. It's technology transforming so many industries, none more so than our very own. But what about political activism? Does this technology have the ability to deliver powerful messages in methods we've never witnessed before? That's the philosophy of Glenn Carter, the founder and CEO of Movers and Shakers. It's an activist coalition focused on using augmented reality to push for the removal of the statue of Christopher Columbus that stands tall in Columbus Circle and has been at the centre of a contentious citywide debate over whether controversial monuments should come down. I'm delighted to welcome Glenn to the programme. Glenn, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Virtual reality, augmented reality, how can we take that technology, apply it to political activism to enhance our debate over what we think of these particular statues and whether they should be placed in New York?
Sure. So one of the phrases that you often hear associated with virtual reality is ultimate empathy machine. And the reason for that is because when you put on a virtual reality headset, you're essentially immersing yourself in a new environment. And so there are various stimuli all around you. It's up to the artists, the engineers to pretty much cater that experience. And the idea is to feel something a lot more profound than what you would see in a YouTube video. It's almost as if you were there. As far as augmented reality is concerned, we're working on a book right now. It's called White Supremacy 101, Columbus the Hero. And so the way that it works is that Movers and Shakers has gotten a talented team of different illustrators, animators, poets, rappers, sound designers, and programmers to create a narrative on the true story of Christopher Columbus. And so each illustration and animation that you see, it's all backed up with poetry that is based on academically verifiable evidence of the truth with Columbus.
We've seen a debate emerge over recent months following the violence in Charlottesville over the appropriateness of these statues. For me, watching this debate, it's very polarised. You have people on one side, people on the others. For me, not too many in the middle. Most people have made their mind up. So I wonder, this virtual reality, who's it targeted at?
Yeah, great question. So the idea of virtual reality, I'd have to respectfully disagree with you, actually, because...
You think there's people in the middle who can...
Yeah, there are definitely people in the middle. I've met with city council people where when I've addressed this issue, they said they haven't even thought about Columbus Circle to begin with, because we've been doing this work for a while. Mm-hmm. And so the reason why I say that is because Columbus Circle and white supremacy is so ingrained in our society in so many different ways, it's almost seen as if it's invisible. So what we want to do with the augmented reality is highlight, narratives and different work that people have done, your Howard Zinns and your Michelle Alexanders of the world, who have these deep layered contexts that, you can read through it, but most people don't. And so with augmented reality, we're distilling this information and we're making it easily digestible so that those who haven't been exposed to this information, you can get through it through 5 minutes. The book talks to you.
So your organisation has been really focusing on this issue of the statues at the moment. A commission has been formed here in New York City, and they've held public hearings in all 5 boroughs to discuss with members of the public whether they believe it's appropriate to have these in the city. Do you think that's a good way in order to outline a clear and thoughtful policy? Do you think these public hearings are of use?
So I think it's a good start. It's a good effort. I like the fact that the city has decided to acknowledge that it is necessary to finally analyze these monuments of hate. However, I do have certain issues. I acknowledge and like the existence of the committee. However, there are issues when you have all 5 of the committee sessions being held at 10 a.m. on a workday. And so that skews the distribution of opinion. I was at 4 out of the 5 of them, and a lot of the opinions that you saw there, it was more conservative opinions in terms of what should happen with the statues. And the bottom line is, in terms of the monuments of hate, the issue really relates to, for the most part, for people of color. And a lot of people of color were not there because of work obligations. And so if we are the people who are mostly affected by this issue, it's really problematic that we don't have that platform for accurate representation, because at the end of the day, the media covers it. I understand there's a submission form online, but the media is the one that conveys the distribution of opinion.
So you call for a referendum?
Absolutely. Movers and Shakers is working on building up a coalition right now. We're working with people like James Felton Keith, congressional candidate. We're working with Black Lives Matter Greater New York City, Hawk Newsom, and we're creating a coalition of different groups to push for a referendum for the 2018 ballot. And we're saying let the people decide.
So you say let the people decide.
Yes.
Our colleagues at PBS NewsHour conducted a poll with NPR. The question they asked to 1,000 individuals was, do you think statues honouring leaders of the Confederacy should remain or be removed? We've broken down the numbers there by people over 45 and under 45. Interestingly, in both age groups, regardless if you're the older population or the younger population, 60% or more in both categories believe that those statues should remain. Do those results surprise you?
No, I'm not surprised whatsoever.
Why?
Because, as I've been saying, white supremacy is ingrained in our society in so many different ways. And so the simple fact is that people see statues as there's different representations, really. There's relics that glorify the past. There are people who see them as just, it's history or erasing history. But it's honestly not that simple.
You've held protests here in New York, which are provocative in nature, led down to Union Square in shackles, and you were publicly whipped. We see the video right now. You mentioned you want people who view those protests to feel discomfort. Why?
Absolutely. Here's the thing. In terms of pushing an agenda forward, discomfort is everything. In terms of what Columbus represents, I'm ready to put my body on the line, and I've demonstrated that I'm putting my body on the line. And showing that provocative form of activism, it's like saying, look, this hurt, it really did hurt, but it's nothing compared to the atrocities and the genocide, the murder, and the rape that was committed.
Glenn Kantarb is the founder and CEO of Movers and Shakers. Glenn, really appreciate you coming in to explain a little bit about your organisation.
Thank you.